Alright, hey there, Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here. We're back for some more of the Final Fantasy X Let's Play. If you did miss out during the last one, well, we have finally made it on over here to the Calm Lands, and there is quite a bit of things for us to go and do around over here. But unfortunately, the one thing that we are not going to be able to go and at least try to accomplish is going to be the said Bella May battle with the Aeon that she does have of Shiva at that point in time. We'll have to worry about that for the next episode that is going to be up and coming later on. But with these two videos for today, not only are we just going to be doing out here with the course of Final Fantasy X, but we're going to be doing some stuff Paper Mario and the 1,000 Year Door as well. So you guys do go and check out on that. We are almost about to be getting very much closer into the Rock Hawk battle, which I can't wait until we go and take him on, because that means we are just one more step closer to accomplishing out with Chapter 3 so that we can move off into Chapter 4 and head off into the area where Dupless is going to be. Now, I did go and tell you guys that before that I am going to be heading off to Michigan at some point, which that is going to be up and coming for tomorrow. So this is actually going to be one of the last of many videos that I will be doing here before I go and head off into my trip. But again, this video is going to happen much later on, probably by the time that I already come back. So you guys should at least be able to go and see this video at some point soon down the road. But what we are going to have to go and do, which I don't know if I ever brought this up yet, is that we are going to have to do a Chocobo race that we're going to have to go and worry about getting done. We do have a Kamari special ability that we have to go for one of his Ronso abilities here, which that is going to be for Bad Breath, which we are going to have to be facing off with a very annoying enemy by the name of a Malboro. Now, those Malboros can become somewhat of a major problem if you don't know how to correctly attack him properly, because when that Bad Breath actually does happen, it can cause a massive amount of different effects, and it's not going to be fun. You can go and run into a poison type of status, and not only that, but also probably run into some sort of like confusion as well too, which that's not going to be good either. But Bad Breath is pretty nice, because when we do at least get it for Kamari, then we can go and cause those type of effects to the other opponents as well, the other type of fiends that are going to be around. And by the way, now I think what I'm going to probably do, I think from here on out, like through all the different big areas that we go through, I'll probably get you guys into what some of the new enemies are actually going to be all about here within like other different areas. So since we are of course in the Calm Lands, well, we got some new enemies here. We got ourselves with a skull. I think those are kind of like the new type of dog enemies, I believe, that are here for you can go and destroy out with Titus. We do have a Nebrios, which they are like the flying creatures. I believe we will be seeing those up and coming here in this said episode. We just saw a Flame Flan that just happened like 5 seconds ago within one of the previous battles. Now those guys do actually have a weak point, which that is going to be with any type of ice type move. So if you do have an upgrade of Blizzaria or something like that, or Blizzaga, you can go and destroy out those guys like pretty nicely there. We do have a Shred, another type of form of those other pesky enemies that we have to go and deal with Aura from before. We do have the Endocondor. Unfortunately, you guys are not going to be able to see those guys. Those are pretty hard to go and to actually search for. You'll normally be running into mainly some of these type of common enemies here and there with like the Flame Flan and the Nebrios and the Shred that's there most of the time. We also do have an Ogre, which they're kind of like the new Yeti area of like around over here. We do have a Corurol. Corurals are actually the one enemy that you're gonna have to be a little bit careful of as well. They do actually cause out with like the Thundara moves that are going to be around over here, and a Chimera Brain, which I don't know if a Chimera Brain has anything special related. It seems like for me, whenever I look at this type of creature here, it seems like this could cause like some sort of like flame breath or something, so you may possibly have something there for Kamari. But anyways, we also do have Malboro, which of course that's where we are gonna have to face off with. That is like the one of the rarer type of enemies to go and find, and sometimes you have to be a little bit further away within the area of the Calm Lands, like somewhere in this type of particular area where the said trainer of the Chocobo is gonna have to be. Now, mind you, by the way, there is a said Elbed primer that is right around in this said location. And by the way, this type of one is actually a not a missable one. So if you do want to ever come back here to this said area, feel free to go ahead and do so, because you can always come back to this later and pick up what that said Elbed primer if you don't want to go for it right away. But for me, I always want to make sure that I'm always one step ahead compared to waiting till everything until a little bit later. So here's the little Chocobo race that we're going to have to go and worry about here. Unfortunately, for what needs to happen here with this said Chocobo is that it doesn't really like this type of terrain all that too much, so we have to go and train it up so that it can at least run around within this said terrain. So let's go and do it here. Now, the only type of functionality that you only do have with this said Chocobo is using the left and right D-pad. So these can be a little bit tricky, and unfortunately for me, I did miss it just by 1 little second right there. And unfortunately, we have to go and do that all over again, but not to worry. We'll make sure that we'll go and clear this as best as we can once more. All right, so one more time, and there we go. We actually got the right minute right there. So we got it right at the 12.8 seconds. Well, I guess you could say millisecond because that's a little bit further in that other type of distance there. And there we go. So now we can just go and just say quit, and that is exactly what we're gonna have to do. And now we actually do have the free range of actually riding around with the Chocobo at any given moment in time. So pretty nice right there. And here's a little side thing that you can go and also encounter out with is that if you go and talk to this person here, we can get a little bit of some information about what this whole like type of gorge area is all about. Looks pretty cool, if I have to say so. Now again, you don't really have to go and head into this part if you don't want to. This is just a little side thing if you need to do that. But however, one thing that we are going to worry about is heading through this little crevice right here. Unfortunately, we won't actually have the ability to bring our Chocobo with us, but however, we could head on into this way and talk to this guy. So this is basically a training arena, alright. And so basically it seems like this guy wants us to go and do some sort of like capturing of some different monsters here. And we are going to have to buy some items that will actually work around with instead using of those capture type of skills here. So we're going to say, all right, we're going to go and do it. We'll see how this is all going to be about here. So the one things that we're going to have to worry about buying is that we're going to be needing a taming sword. We're going to be needing an iron fist. Now, unfortunately, we can't really go and worry about these two type items right away just yet for any type of customizable stuff, because we need to have first strike on them. And unfortunately, we don't really have first strike just yet, but we'll worry about customizing those out a little bit later on. But the one things that are going to be very important for us for right now is that we're going to worry about doing the capture, getting that item, and also worrying about getting the Beastmaster, because the Beastmaster we need to customize to at least have a thing by the name of piercing with it so that we can give that over to Orin. And then we also do need the capture to also have the initiative way as well for that type of ability. Now, if you haven't been stealing a lot of items so far, remember back over at the Thunder Plains, I want to say, those actually had some of those interesting like cactar enemies. Well, we did go and find some Chocobo feathers around there from those said enemies, and we do have a lot of that to build up our initiative. So we're going to have to do that right there with that said catcher to go and begin with first. So, let's go and get this out of the way. So it looks like we're going to go after the Beastmaster first. So we're going to have to do the piercing to begin with. Alright. So there we go. So that takes care of that. And then now we're just going to have to go and head over to the other one, which that is going to be with the catcher. And then that should at least accomplish out with everything else. I don't know exactly where we're going to have to find this first strike ability, so we're going to have to see where that's going to be at some point. So it's a good thing that we do have 12 of these guys. So let's just go and make sure that we go and click on the yes button there, and we should at least get this whole capture thing already said and done with. So very nice. Oh yeah, this is where I was gonna go and try to see if I actually did have the first strike. Unfortunately, there is no first strike. I only just have just the amount of the items that we do need for right now. But at least we can go and do another initiative later if there is ever anything that I do need for that. But here we go. The last and final thing that we do need is going to just be running around and searching for a Malboro. And here it is, one of the rarer type of enemies here. And let's just go and do some attacking for a little bit. So it seems like the best type of damage is just trying to go and do anything like fire damage related onto this guy. Unfortunately, water and ice damage don't really do anything onto these Malboros here. But just be really careful about what these guys can go and do, because when they start launching out on that bad breath attack, things can become somewhat of a major problem. Alright, so after a little bit of some time here, we're going to make sure that we go and get ourselves with that bad breath there. And also can't forget that we're going to make sure to go and destroy it with this guy. And just like that, the Malboro is down and out. And we are all said and done here. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. And of course, peace.